Hey Leos, and welcome to your July 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And wow, Leos, I'm really excited for the energy that I'm seeing coming forward in your reading. It's really indicative, I think, of what you've been going through for a long time now, and I feel like a lot has clicked. I feel like there are a lot of light bulb moments coming forward in July. So for those of you who have been coming out of June really confused or really feeling like things have not been explained properly, I think that July really comes in to be the month where you are explained a lot, or a month where you understand the direction that you need to go. So you're definitely going to be jumping straight into this month, curious about where you're going and why you're going there. And I also feel that right when you're stepping into July, there's something that can't go on as well, like with the way that you've been maybe working with yourself or working with your health, working with your body. I kind of feel like Leo kind of wakes up like right into July and realizes, okay, that was never going to work out, or okay, that was never going to get me anywhere. Basically, you're going to see through any like false coping mechanisms that you may have had for a while, and you're going to be able to replace them, I think, this month with something much more wholesome. Luck is very emphasized for you this month, Leo. You have Wheel of Fortune in your reading. You have Ace of Swords, King of Wands, Ten of Cups. I feel like you are really rethinking why you're getting what you're getting. I sense Leo to be a little bit philosophical this month, you being a bit less realistic and a bit less of a realist this month, and really embracing something more divine. So possibly new spiritual connections, new pathways to open up about like how you're sensing the world around you, becomes very empowering for you this month. You're going to see through a lot. You have Seven of Cups reversed. And again, also with that Ace of Swords reversed, it's like there's a cutting away of things which are not real in your life, or in more layman's terms, you may very easily find out secrets this month, or if someone's lied to you, you may see that very clearly this month. And it's very encouraged for Leo to be able to enjoy this process of understanding the truth, because the truth is very available to you this month. So try to not like freak out about that. Try to not see like, okay, this is not healthy, this is not what I want, I don't want to see it, therefore I'm gonna like kind of stay in that Seven of Cups like shroud of non-truth. I think that there might be a few people around you who haven't been truthful. Not for all of you. For those of you who don't feel that the people around you are being untruthful, there's definitely an aspect of like, how have I been truthful to myself? What have I promised myself? What have I told myself I was going to become? And how has that been prevented? I feel this to be strong for Leo. Like maybe you wanted to embark on the new journey or the new career, and your health like took a back seat or something, and now you're having to spotlight your health more. I do feel the health to be quite emphasized. I would check like the throat area, so like a thyroid or anything dealing with hormonal fluctuations or chemical balances within the body. Jupiter is retrograde in Scorpio, which squares Leo in a way that deals with like your body and its life force, and Jupiter retrograde kind of makes things flow backwards. So it's a good time to have the checkups, a good time to have the tests done that you've needed and get it out of the way. And I think that throughout July, Leo, you become more healthy than you've ever been, but there could be, I don't want to say a bit of a crisis to pop up, but something that feels real, and something that's not just like, I'm just not feeling quite right, or I'm not just like on 100%. I do sense that some of you may like really feel like, okay, something's not right in my body, and it's very easily mended this month. So be sensitive to that, be clear on what's coming forward with your body, because ultimately you're being made more healthy right now, so that you can get into that like Ten of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune space, where you're ready to manifest something and create an incredible new type of creative outlet for yourself. And you need to be healthy to do that. The solar plexus energy, that creative sort of thrust of life energy, requires a certain amount of like quantum healthiness in order to truly embark on. And you can see that if your body's not like in very good health and you're trying to enter that space, it can work for a while, but you can kind of wake up just feeling like very hungover every day, or feeling just like not right, like something's amiss. So dial back a little bit your extremely ambitious nature, at least in the beginning of this month, and replace that, I would suggest, with in enjoyment of the present without a need to like really rise high really quickly, work on the health, work on how you feel about things, and be ready to re-enter that ambitious state with a more healthy body. Potentially, it could be September. You may need, some of you will need like all of July and August, and then some of you, like I said, some Leos will just like each week be like bouncing back. So like fourth week of July, you're back, beginning of August, you're back, end of August, you're back. But some Leos may need up to about September to heal what has been denied over the past. I think it started maybe a year ago with that solar eclipse we had in Leo in August of 2017, and then that blood moon in January. There's something from that period of time, that 6-month period of time, that may have hurt Leo, or may have blocked out, because obviously you're ruled by the sun, so solar eclipses can be kind of hard on Leos because that energy gets eclipsed out. And I think that 6-month period was basically another form of like 6-month eclipse for you, where your connective electrical abilities may have been blocked out a little bit, and now things are just like not right feeling. But it feels very healable still yet. Don't worry too much. Just try. The worst case scenario is to like force yourself into things right now, or to put your health on the back burner and be like, oh, it'll clear up, I'm always really healthy, I'm just going to force through, be my workaholic self, do all the things that I do, and it'll be fine. You really do have to kind of make concessions in July, it feels like, and work on attaining more health for yourself for sure. And that's not going to be every single Leo out there, but I do feel the Leo energy itself. If maybe you have a lot of Aries or Libra, or even for some people Capricorn energy, the health might feel like pretty strong right now. But really Leo focused people, I do feel like your body is in need of some attention. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into the week-to-week Leos to give some more specific messages about the entirety of your July. In the first week of July, you have 7 of Cups reversed, rooted down by 10 of Cups reversed, so very watery energy coming in. This is like, honestly, the image that I see is like Leo being asleep, and like the water's getting poured onto you, and you're like waking up to something. Like something comes like right into focus, you're getting real with yourself, you're seeing like what needs to be done. And what's going to come first is realizing how you've maybe prevented that in the past. So watch out for being harsh with yourself. Like, oh my gosh, I've been fooling myself this entire time. I've been tricking myself into thinking that something was good when it was not this entire time. And I do sense like Leo kind of punishing themselves or wanting to feel bad about it. But it's not good to be there either, because, again, your health, you've got to maybe focus on it for a second. Like, okay, yeah, I can figure out how to do better with this in the future, but no like really self-critical Leo in July. You can be a self-critical sign. Leo itself is not that self-critical, but if you mix in some Cancer energy or Virgo energy, which is on like very common for Leo people to have those placements, like both of those signs are very self-critical. So you may have a tendency to like really discipline yourself for mistakes, and it's really important to maybe be able to write it down, like, how am I feeling? What do I feel like I deserve because of this? And then be able to like separate yourself from it, because I just keep hearing that very clearly, like self-critical is not a good place for Leo in July. And then 7 of Cups reversed obviously deals with, those false horizons, progressions that you've developed which are not actually right for you, but you kind of fool yourself into thinking they are. That's reversed, which I honestly like that card reversed because you're seeing through it. Rooted down by 10 of Cups reversed. For some of you, this could be divorce, honestly. For some of you, this could be very close personal relationships revealing themselves to have been false in some way. That's not going to be all of you. I feel about 40% of Leos, which is a pretty big percentage. But again, you'll know if that's the case. Like, don't let hearing this make you doubt something that is actually healthy. But you'll know coming into it if it's the case. And it's actually not a bad time for Leo to divorce. If there's something that you need to divorce yourself from, whether that be marriage or career or something that's been around for a long time, that is supported this month. So do remember that. And what's not supported is to force things. So divorce, force, you have like an intertwining there, I feel, of those words. Are you going to divorce it or are you going to force it? And I feel that Leo really has to divorce things this month. And again, like, I sometimes don't like saying things like that because obviously there are going to be Leos who are like happily married, who are doing fine, and I do not want to sow like seeds of doubt into your experiences. That's why you kind of have to come into tarot readings with like with a solidity of what is like right and wrong for you in your life at the current time. Although sometimes it can definitely make you rethink things and see things from a new angle. But for those of you who have been like for the last 6 months thinking, I need this divorce, I need to get rid of this in my life, this is not good for me. Lots of reminders, lots of constant like, I need to be out of this. Like if you keep like having this voice in your head that's like, get out of the situation. I think that July can be a month where it's positive to follow through on that type of interaction from within. In the second week, Leos, you have Page of Wands reversed, rooted down by 10 of Pentacles reversed. So this is a big... So week number 1 is like that relationship realization and change, and week number 2 is like the career and creativity realization and change. So this would be the time to maybe divorce yourself from the career that you've been wanting to quit for 5 years, or to not hold yourself to pursuing something that was never right in the first place. You'll know what that is. That's kind of hard to explain, but I see that type of energy a lot of times when people have had this really strong creative like surge to do something, to want something, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it's been like this constant thing that kind of comes up, but it just never quite comes into focus right, and it never quite makes itself be what you want it to be. And it can be such a leech, such a drain onto your life when you're wanting something, but you're not doing it. You know, you're not like actually wanting it enough to make it the center of your life. It seems like you have to choose something in that period of time. Like it's either time to move on to new horizons, or it's time to actually focus and enjoy the ones that are there. Like I feel like Leo is lingering, and that's what this really comes down to. Lingering between a state of like wanting something to work, but accepting that it doesn't, but hoping that it will fix itself. It's like nothing's quite enjoyed or nothing is quite right, because you're like stuck between either pursuing new horizons or letting the old thing come in, if that makes sense. So week number 2, focus on what you want to do. Maybe meditate on where you want to see yourself. And that sounds very typical maybe, but I think that a lot of beautiful things can happen from Leo, like sitting in a quiet room and just visualizing a question, like visualizing a question. Where do I want to be? Where would I see myself? What type of situation would I see myself in? I would so recommend that you guys do that. Even if that feels like I'm not going to realize anything, just visualizing yourself and letting it go where it goes without any parameters, without any, okay, I need this money, I need this house, I need this, that, and just like see yourself, envision yourself functioning happily, and note what you see there. You might be surprised. Week number 3, Page of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by King of Cups reversed. So this more has to do with people, even perhaps like platonic or like coworker, acquaintance type of relationships coming in. I'm feeling for you, which are kind of in reversal too. I mean, look at all the reversals in this reading. Everything except Wheel of Fortune is reversed, which, I mean, that's nice. That Wheel of Fortune will probably carry you out of all of this. But every kind of aspect that has been in your life for a while is being seen from a type of perspective which no longer feels nice anymore. And that's not going to be for all of you. For some of you, this is more like a formulaic or devil's advocate type of energy, I feel as well. Like you're thinking, okay, I could get that incredible promotion, I could get that incredible job, but what can of worms is that going to open in my life? Watch out for being too much of a devil's advocate in July, Leo. I think that just kind of enjoying yourself and doing what you need to do is important. But for those of you in the 3rd week who find yourself surrounded by uncaring people or people who are gossiping about you, kind of treating you in a reversed way, I do feel that it's no longer important to prioritize these types of relationships. I think that the 3rd week would be a nice time to meet new people. For those of you who are single and would like to date, that feels okay. It's encouraged to not jump back to people from the past if you can help it. New people are better, because it might not even last that long for some of you, but the period of healing that happens before things go wrong feels very pivotal for you, and not bad. And also starting to release people when things go roughly is like a realization that you have with these new connections. So that's kind of complicated, but the 3rd week is like a stage or a foundation for you to meet new people, or just acquaint yourself with new energies. It's not even that you have to start big time relationships, but I feel like Leo socializing in the 3rd week of July is nice, or talking to the person in line, getting coffee, maybe paying coffee forward. Like if you're like going through the coffee line or the drive-through, like pay for the person behind you if you're like really abundant right now. I feel like that type of thing sees Leo really well. Because I do sense that Leo feels like they owe something to people, or that with the sun doing what it's done, it's like Leo has abundances, most Leos, and you're like, but other people are so difficult. So I see maybe a charitable thing coming forward where you're helping other people or you're helping others to thrive more, which I think is definitely supported for you guys if it feels right. Don't force that and make sure that you're in a good place to do that. But anyway, Leo's fourth and most important week of July, Wheel of Fortune rooted down by Ace of Swords reversed. I actually quite like that energy. It feels like a saving grace type of experience comes in. So for those of you who have felt like quite discouraged or quite disembodied by what's come forward, I think that the fourth week gives you a nice dose of good luck and allows your mind a bit of peace. Sometimes I interpret Ace of Swords reversed as no longer needing to like formulate everything, no longer having to be cunning in response to everything. Like your brain might be a little bit overstimulated or overtaxed. I would watch out for lots of like stimulant type of things like caffeine, etc. Watch out for demanding too much of your mental processes, because I feel like Leo can develop maybe anxieties or just strange things in response to overdoing the electrical systems in the brain. So allow your mind to rest, allow a bit of peace of mind to come in. It's going to happen naturally. So I feel that if Leos are very erratic during this time, it's because of like a need to experience erratic experiences or erratic circumstances. So if people are demanding you to be like very unstable or demanding you to be very problematic, like it feels quite easy to shut that out, or it feels quite easy to avoid that and find peace for yourself, and that's definitely supported. I also feel that this is a time where like promotions can come, or through the observation that you've had over the first 3 weeks and sort of devil's advocate that you've played, you find a new formula for yourself, a new type of job or a new type of creative endeavor to formulate. So allow that peace, but also write down what ideas you have. Allow yourself to be on the back burner. Allow yourself to ease the mind and to just enjoy your surroundings. Maybe make your surroundings more aesthetically pleasing for yourself to just sort of exist. Existing in the fourth week feels nice. And getting the bonus or the promotion feels nice as well, as that feels like really possible. I also think that maybe some of you will start thinking about plans to move or plans to relocate. It doesn't have to happen quickly, but it's good to kind of think about in the back of your head. I feel it feels like Leo could do well from changing locations. King of Wands reversed is your central theme, Leos. That to me suggests that you are kind of lingering again. It's like this desire to be elsewhere, but at the same time, there's a fear to leave. There's a fear to capitalize on that. So you just have to kind of find a happy medium for yourself. I mean, this can obviously relate to relationships, moving, careers. I can definitely sense a desire to go in Leo, a desire to go, to get out of this situation, while at the same time, benefiting from what the situation has given. So that's like hard for you. Like you've benefited from where you're at, but at the same time you want to leave it. So that's just going to have to be something that's like balanced throughout this time of the year and throughout this time of the summer for you. I think that August sees a much more decisive Leo and a much more logically healthy Leo. But it is your time of year coming towards the end of the month as well. So for those of you like aging up, congratulations, happy birthday. I think that the solar return will be great for you. But I think things will really click into place in August, relating to how you're actually changing things. But you'll realize a lot here, and like write down what you're realizing. I feel like it's kind of fleeting, and that you can feel better by knowing what you felt now, because you might kind of forget that. Anyway, Leos, it's kind of a complex energy. Make sure to check out your sun, moon, rising sign to get some more subtleties about this. And ultimately, just don't make too many split decisions, but know when enough is enough. Find that balance, and try to not force too much this month, and you'll do wonderfully. August feels really much more beautiful and much more exciting too, and I think that you will really thrive during that time with some wonderful like birthday celebrations or last minute type of birthday plans for those of you who aged up in July. But anyway, everyone, I so appreciate you being here and being around. If you haven't had the opportunity to subscribe to my channel, That would make my day, and your likes and comments, as always, are very special to me, and I so appreciate them. Be sure to check out the description box below. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, as well as Patreon, and there are some other interesting links there as well. You can click the center of your screen to check out my Patreon page and book a private reading if that's interesting to you. And we will be talking soon, Leos. Much love and good luck this month. Happy birthday. Bye.